what's going on, guys? This is Kek back here with another Animal Jam video, and in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about Animal Jam, and before it was actually Animal Jam. Before I do get into that though, I just want to quickly talk about today's video giveaway, which is for a silver headdress. All you need to do is leave a like and go to the video link in the description below and follow further instructions over there. But yeah, you are probably wondering what do I mean by that. So I'm talking about before Animal Jam and when the idea of Animal Jam was proposed to the developers at WildWorks and what they kind of were planning on doing for terms of designs anyway on Animal Jam, but were never ended up used because they went with other designs. So pretty much concept arts as well as other ideas they had in mind but never ended up using when the game actually was released into the beta tests. So most of these come from the Animal Jam archives, so I will leave them linked in the description below. So I guess we'll start out with the most underdeveloped concept art, if that makes any sense. So this was just sketches that they ended up doing up, and they also had colored versions of these as well. So these were the original designs for animals on Animal Jam, so the animals you would be playing as. So as you can see here, we had gorillas, snakes, zebras, giraffes, elephants, rhinos, and also tigers. Now you might notice that there are animals there that aren't actually in Animal Jam Classic, such as the snake, zebras, as well as the gorillas, which funny enough, they were actually introduced into Animal Jam Play Wild except for the zebras. Obviously not in this style though. Personally, this style is not to my taste, and I'm glad they didn't end up going with this, and I don't think I would be playing nowadays if this was the kind of models we used around the game. But they are still pretty funny just to look at indeed. So the next one's here, pretty wacky looking also, and they kind of remind me of Madagascar, if you guys know that movie. I'm not sure why, but that's what it reminds me of. And they only did 4 designs for this one, and that was the monkey, which is most similar to the monkey looking nowadays anyway, out of all of these concept arts. They also did the zebra again, the giraffe, and then the tiger. So they kind of knew what animals they were exactly going to be using at first. They kind of had that idea in mind anyway, but just not what they were going to actually look like. Then following up here are these kind of more clay looking, I would describe it as. They're more simplistic and dependent on shading, I guess, and kind of a gradient on them. And again, we have the tiger, elephant, giraffe, snake, gorilla, and rhino. Now this next one is pretty good in my opinion because it has some animals that were actually added to Play Wild later on and some animals that were never added to either versions of the game. So as you can see here, there's multiple versions of tigers or lions. So we have the tiger, we have the lion, then we have the black panther, I believe that's what it's called in the top left. And I'm not too sure what the other tiger beside it is called, and what breed of tiger it is or whatever. Then they also had monkeys, meerkats, which were eventually added to Play Wild. Same with the hippo in the bottom left. And then we also have the rhinos and the elephants. And I think the elephant looks so cute here, and it looks so funny because of how just how huge it is. And it's probably my favorite design out of all of these. Then second last here, these designs were actually ended up used, or very similar style anyway, in the format they were. So here we have the gorilla, the rhino, the sea turtle, which was obviously changed a bit. Same with the shark and the dolphin. Then we had the elephant, the owl, strangely enough, the giraffe, the tiger, and then the crocodile as well. So I'm not too sure if these were done up beforehand because of the owl, or if they genuinely just had the owl planned that in advance for when it was actually released on Animal Jam Classic, because it looks exactly how it does look on Animal Jam Classic nowadays. But yeah, as said, this is probably the most similar style they got to compared to the official designs they ended up going with, and obviously some of them were tinkered around and some of the animals were swapped out. Then saving the best for last here, these are I would dub these as the junior designs. They are more targeted towards kids of like preschoolers, and it makes me think that maybe they could have used this for Animal Jam Junior, which was a cancelled game they were going to be working on back in 2015 and they never ended up doing. And they have the same kind of animal formats here: the giraffe, the elephant, the rhino, the tiger, the snake, the gorilla, and then the zebra. So it is interesting just to kind of compare nowadays how they kind of switched out certain animals. Like I imagine they swapped out the zebra for just the horse, because you can make a horse look like a zebra on the game just using the stripe pattern. And then they swapped out the gorilla with just a normal monkey, and they never added gorillas to Animal Jam Classic. However, they were introduced to Play Wild. And same thing with snakes. Snakes were completely removed and they weren't added on Animal Jam Classic. However, they were introduced on Play Wild. But this kind of is just cool to look back on and see what kind of things they were planning before they actually worked on Animal Jam. And not only that, initially before all of these designs designs were made up, they were planning on using Snoopy as the character in game. So if you don't know who Snoopy is, it's a kind of an infamous character on television, in games as well. And WildWorks, before they were WildWorks, when they were SmartBottom Interactive, they actually made some games with the Peanuts company, which owns Snoopy, and they were going to use the Snoopy brand as the kind of foundation for Alamo Jam and use Snoopy as the character. And it's just kind of interesting to think about how that would actually have turned out. Would have been in like the same style Alamo Jam is nowadays, just with a Snoopy character. I just couldn't imagine that, to be honest, but just thinking about it is quite funny in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Thought it was just a cool idea, just kind of look back on these old designs. They are pretty cool to look at, and yeah, thank you to the Alamo Jam Archives for supplying these. But yeah, as I said, this is gonna wrap up the video here. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you guys do want to be notified on future videos, as well as videos just like this one. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, and let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. What was your guys' favorite design out of all of them shown? I'm excited to see what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next one.